Hi, back today with another review. Today I've got the new Letshuoer Cadenza 4. It's a 1+3 hybrid. Comes in this grey retail box. Quite a nice box. Got the similar to the retail box that came with the S15, I think. Pretty standard. They have included a better cable with the Letshuoer Cadenza 4, in my opinion. The terminations are a little different. This one has like the kind of an L-shaped termination with a 3.5 and 4.4. Plus, I think the cable overall is just a little nicer. I like the ear hooks on the Cadenza 4 cable as well. I'll give you a little look at the Cadenza 4 themselves. They're a really nice in-ear monitor. They fit very nicely. There's quite an aggressive kind of an aggressive sort of a angle to the nozzle, but it actually fits really nice. I thought the shape of the angle of the nozzle actually kind of helps to get the tips angled in your ear quite well. I used a fair few different tips on the Cadenza 4 just to do a bit of tip rolling to see which was the most suitable. Wound up mostly using the Infitter IE45 Pro, I think they're called, as well as I used some whiteboard tips that came with the Heaties MP145, which work really well on the Cadenza 4 as well. But for most of my listening, I also actually used some dual flange tips I got with a pair of Meze Rye Solo, which are very good as well. I did quite a bit of tip rolling with the Cadenza 4, as I usually do, just get a good fit and seal. And moving on to the sound signature, they're quite a bassy, warm, and quite resolving in-ear monitor. They have a really deep, rumbly sub bass. They got quite punchy bass as well, for like your kick drums and whatnot. They're quite versatile with different genres, like metal, hip hop, and things like dubstep and drum and bass. They did quite well with, as well as they were quite good with jazz as well. They had enough micro details for a lot of the smooth jazz with they got pretty good vocals as well, being a warm kind of a signature. I think it's just slightly on like the V shape with the amount of bass that it's got. It is quite a well controlled bass though. I thought the quality of the bass isn't too bad. It's got a good rumble and feels quite organic. Not sure exactly what kind of balanced armatures it's got, but they seem to be quite well tuned. They're not not sibilant or not too bright. They're quite they give you some good detail resolution as well. But in comparison to the Cadenza Freya 2, I felt the Freya 2 had just a little more detail resolution than the Cadenza 4 did. But in trading off on the detail resolution, you do get more bass with the Cadenza 4. So it kind of goes either way. Like you either get a little better detail resolution with the Freya 2 and trade off on a little less sub bass, although it does have good sub bass. It's just not quite as bassy as the Cadenza 4. But in the Cadenza 4 you do lose just a little bit of that micro detail. It's still pretty good, but when I compared it to the Freya 2, it was just lacking just a little bit in that resolution of the details that the Freya 2 had. I also have the new LR Nebula cable from Letshuoer as well, which Letshuoer also sent out for review. It's a two core cable. This one doesn't have the preformed ear hooks. It's actually, you can actually bend it yourself. It's got like a memory wire, so you can adjust it to fit your ears. I found it. I wasn't completely impressed with it. It's a $159 cable, and I don't really see the value in that kind of money. I mean, they could have made it a balanced cable. A modular cable, and just a little bit better quality. I found the stock Cadenza 4 cable a lot better quality. I mean, you get a modular cable, you get really good preformed ear hooks, you get like a really nice aesthetics in the cable as well. It's just a really nice looking cable, and like it's thicker. It just feels better quality. But I mean, the Nebula's still a nice looking cable, but you know, I'd expect it more to be in the, say, $50 range than the $150, $160 range for what it is. It really didn't impress me at all. I mainly used the stock cable with the Cadenza 4, but thanks to Letshuoer for sending it out anyway. It's a nice looking cable, but I don't personally think it's worth $160. Like, if I didn't know the price, I'd say $50 max. Like, but I mean, you get a case with it. You get get this nice little hockey puck style storage case with it. I don't know if that really adds much value, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm sure some people out there will like it. Just wasn't really my thing. Like even the Freya 2 has a nicer cable, which is also a modular cable. Just the quality's a lot better. But yeah. In the running the Cadenza 4 through a lot of my reference tracks to get a good sense of what the clarity and the vocals, the bass, Just generally everything about the Cadenza 4. I think it fared pretty well. It did have good resolution. It did have really nice bass texture, but it didn't. Yeah, like I said, it didn't quite have the resolution that the Cadenza 4. I mean the Kineo Freya 2 does. But yeah, like I said, you do get a bit more bass and a bit more depth in the sound stage with that extra bit of bass, and I think it's just a little more fun than the Freya 2. It feels just a little more dynamic. The Freya 2 is a absolute brilliant IM though. Like I really love both of them, but I think the Freya 2's more of what I'd say is a little more of a reference set that has good kind of detail throughout. I didn't feel like it was really lacking anything, whereas in the Cadenza 4 I did think it, in comparison to the Freya 2, it was just lacking just a little bit of that detail resolution in the upper mids and lower treble, but it still was quite good. It just maybe missed maybe 10% of the resolution that the Freya 2 had, and I mean that's not a big huge margin, and the trade-off that you get with the bass is I think worth it, and you do get a little more of a fun signature with the Cadenza 4, and I think it'd really appeal to a lot of people that like, you know, a fairly well balanced sound signature with a bit of bass and good quality bass as well. That does have, that can hit pretty deep as well, and you really do feel that rumble and punch in the bass too. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about them, but they did have very good tonality in male and female vocals as well. The overall fit and comfort of the Cadenza 4 is very good too. I actually found it probably just as comfortable as the Freya 2 to wear for a couple of hours at a time, just listening, and it was I was quite comfortable listening to the Cadenza 4 over a period of time. I didn't really have any discomfort, and the way that the nozzles kind of they're shaped in a way that they kind of angle more towards your inner ear, so also getting a tip that works well with them as well is very important. Not all tips are going to quite work with them, although most tips I did try work pretty well with them. But when you compare like the kind of more straight nozzle of the Freya 2, it was sometimes easier to get tips to seal, but I didn't really have any real issues with the Cadenza 4. Other than that, that very little bit of fine detail resolution that I thought the Freya 2 had that the Cadenza didn't quite in the same way. Although, like I said, you get a trade-off and you get a little more of that punchy, deeper bass, and just a little bit more of a fun sound signature overall, and it is quite a dynamic signature. It is really quite a good in-ear monitor, and I think a lot of people don't like it. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say on the Cadenza 4. I want to thank Letshuoer for sending them out for a review. I'll be handing these over to my other review group members soon. So you'll get some more reviews coming up soon from my other members. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say on the Cadenza 4, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back soon.